Good afternoon, everybody. Today, I want to talk about another quality of life update that came by OpenAI. It's pretty simple, so it's not going to take a whole lot of time. But I did want to show you guys what I've been playing with ChatGPT's plugins. I think that there's something really cool that I can showcase to you guys. And clearly, I had to dive in a little bit more. I had to spend a little bit of time messing with it, and now I understand it a little bit better. So that's kind of the name of the game with these videos is like, what am I doing? How am I fumbling through using ChatGPT? And as a product, how can you as a real estate agent do it? So we are in ChatGPT, and I'm in ChatGPT 4 right now. But what I want to show you guys real quick, so that first little piece on the left-hand side, you have this list of all of your different chats, right? And let's say that maybe you're recording videos to share with people on YouTube, and you don't exactly want all of your titles to be showcased. I truthfully don't really care, but maybe it's a little more sensitive information. Maybe you, as a real estate agent, have been categorizing different clients' information, and you want to make sure that their information is hidden when you're showcasing video work, right? Well, now what you can do is on this left-hand side, on the very top, on the right hand of the sidebar, you can click this and it's going to hide it, which is just so cool to me. Now, things that I wish would happen, I wish that it was expandable where the ChatGPT screen would actually expand out a little bit more. We don't get so lucky, but I still think that that's really cool. And then you can just click it again, show sidebar, right? So that's something that I think, again, just a nice little quality of life update that you as a ChatGPT user have access to. If for some reason you decided that you did want to keep your chat history, and we've talked about that in other videos, how perhaps you don't want to keep your chat history. And now ChatGPT will just delete that, and it's not training off that information if you do that, right? But the other thing that I want to show you guys today is I actually started playing with the ChatGPT code interpreter, and I want to show you guys a little bit of a use case for this. So I think it's really cool. So I'm over here in ChatGPT 4, and we did get access to the code interpreter as a request, and we are one of the lucky few. I don't know exactly why I was picked, but I am very grateful for it, and I've been doing my absolute best to try and learn it as a product. My business partner Mark has been using it for some of his stuff. I think that he is building a plugin himself for his software company, RealVolve, which is really cool. And I'm excited to maybe devote a video to that later about if you are a RealVolve CRM user, how you might be able to use Mark's ChatGPT plugin. But that's not what we're going to do today. We are just looking at the code interpreter. So I scrolled over to ChatGPT 4, gives you the drop down, and I click code interpreter, right? Now, what you will notice is when you move from default to code interpreter on the actual prompt screen, you get this little plus button, and you can upload files. Now, I have been uploading CSV files, which are just document files. And so I'm going to select a CSV that I have, and it's got all of our YouTube channel URLs, view count, as well as the titles that I use in the thumbnail, as well as titles I use on the actual videos. And so just I went there and I grabbed a CSV. Again, I was just trying to play around, see what I had. I wanted a good CSV that didn't really have any specific or like pertinent information. And so now we can upload that. And that's really cool because what we can start to do is we can start to add these into our prompts. So one of the prompts that I had earlier, and excuse me, I need to look it up, is give me a list. Perfect. All right. Give me a list of the views for the top 5 videos in this .csv. So I'm asking for a list of all of the different views for this CSV video, and I will pull up the actual CSV for you guys to take a look at as well alongside this while it is working. Now, one thing I will note, it's kind of slow, but it is much better than it was before. So here is the CSV that I pulled from. So obviously I've got URLs, old titles, new titles, thumbnail title, and then I've got this views, and that's what I'm hoping that it can pull from. And so one of the things that I noted is it starts identifying which headlines I have. So includes URL, old title, views, view date, new titles. However, it seems views column includes commas. Okay, that's really interesting. So because I do have commas in this, 1,200 views, it's like, hey man, I don't like that. But it is looking like it's going to continue to try to move forward, showing its work. It's giving me some different Python code, which is really helpful. And it apologizes. There are not a number of views that checks out. I have these dashes here. So perhaps my CSV file is not built out very well, and it may not actually be usable, but I think the nuance here is being able to upload those CSVs and then call in data, I think is really cool. Here's the views column, which case an error attempted to convert the columns integrally. Man, and it's got a lot of mistakes. And so as you can see, this is a moment where I kind of need to address this and look at it. That is not a problem. We're just going to move on. Clearly, clearly I need to go clean up my CSV. What data were you able to get insights on from this CSV? Okay, so even though it wasn't able to generate that list, and again, I had quite a few things go wrong, right? Obviously, I had commas, I had dashes in the values, all of these things kind of tripped it up. That's good to know, especially when we're formatting our data. Now, I could go back into that spreadsheet and I could readjust it. I could remove the commas, remove the dashes, leave those empty, and I could re-import it into ChatGPT and pretty well start over again. But for this sake, I'm just going to move forward and see what else I can get. So I did ask for what other data insights it was able to get, and it looks like it is able to look at those headlines or those titles of all of the different columns and pull all of those different pieces, right? Title change, views, view date. Please note, thank you. Can you plot this to a graph? Now, another thing that I saw people were playing around with is they were asking it to be plotted into graphs. And I kind of showcased this in one of my other videos, but now I'm just playing inside the systems. I want to see if it will actually do this for me. It looks like it's asking for a little bit of more clarification. We need to clarify what exactly we are visualizing here. Views over time, views distribution, top videos. That's a good point, because most of this is not numerical data, right? I grabbed a CSV that is mostly text-based, right? So of course it's like, oh, well, you've got a lot of text, but what do you want me to do with it? I actually really appreciate that because that shows me a little bit of intuitive thought. So that would be really, really, kudos to ChatGPT. So that is a good point. This is mostly text based, isn't it? Please show me views over time. All right, so I like to be a little casual with ChatGPT. I like to tell it, hey, you're actually right there. I'm helping train that data, right? And conversational. say please and thank you. You just never know. I have been saying thank you to my assistant voice devices that start with an A or a G for quite some time, and I'm not going to say it just in case you've got one in your home and it pings like it's listening, right? That's always the worst when people say that in videos. But so it looks like it's starting to do something. It's not clear if the data you're viewing was recorded or represented at some time. So I think ultimately this might not be the best CSV for us to be able to look at this overall use case. But what I think that we can derive from just me playing in ChatGPT in this moment is the nuance that I was able to take a CSV file and I was able to plug it in there. And now ChatGPT is able to read that CSV file and interpret some of this data. It was able to tell me what is inside of it. It's able to tell me when I ask for something that it doesn't know how to do because there's errors within the CSV file, exactly what those errors are. I tried to troubleshoot it, but it didn't. It was giving me some ideas of what types of things that it could glean insight off of, as well as how it might be able to plot. Now, again, I didn't really help ChatGPT all that much out, right? Like this is a pretty generic, pretty basic CSV file, but let's think of it this way. From a real estate standpoint, we have probably a CSV. I know for sure you can pull it from Mark's company, RealVolves. You can pull out all of your contacts, your entire database. And in that, you're probably going to have first name, last name, birthday, spouse name, maybe children's names. You're probably going to have the information about the homes that they purchased or were selling. You're going to have all of these different points of data. Now, we take that CSV, we plug it in. It may take a little bit of time. And I think that as we start to use ChatGPT to do some of these big hitter things, we're just going to have to accept that it takes a little bit of time to do it. Like if you think back, and I'm not that old, but I do remember dial-up internet and noise. You basically had to pick between having a phone or having the internet. And back in the old days, right, as you would, we had to be patient. We had to take time. I remember when YouTube first came out and buffering a video was just part of what you did. You would press play and then you'd wait 15 minutes while the video was buffering. And I think that if we think of ChatGPT in that infancy stage where it's just going to take some time to get our data connected and moving forward, I think that overall we're going to have some really cool stuff. Now, an interesting just like nuance, I was talking about Mark's business. I think that ChatGPT, with the power of the code interpreter, could take over some CRM functions. And I don't know what that looks like in the CRM space, but I think that there are a lot of really interesting ideas for how you can leverage something like this to gain better understanding of data, not just looking at having a CRM to basically be a Rolodex of all of your contacts, but actually how are your pieces of data working for you? Now, over here at Workflow Secrets, we did build out real estate dashboards at one point as a software product, and I talk about it in one of our other videos. And you can find lots of videos that I covered over tutorials about that. But those dashboards were designed to take all of the different pieces of data and represent it for you visually in lightning speed. And I think that nuance is still here for ChatGPT. I think that there's some really cool pieces that we're going to see emerge. And I think that, for Mark, if you're watching Mark, he tends to watch my videos. I think that you should continue to dive into this plugin land and really see how you can leverage utilizing ChatGPT in the back end of your CRM. I think that that is going to help you stay competitive. But for you as real estate agents, man, I would encourage you, as soon as you can gain access to the code interpreter, get in there, start playing around, get formal with it, and get messy with it, because that ultimately is what I'm doing. And clearly today's example was not it, but we were able to showcase that ChatGPT is able to take those CSVs and learn from it. I think that's really what I wanted to show you guys today, along with the upper right-hand menu bar where you can kind of hide, all of your different prompts. But that's really what I've got to show you guys today. I hope you're having a really great day. I hope you find this informational. And I am just going to throw a general pitch out there that if you do not have access to the code interpreter, but you're like, man, I really wish someone would cover insert topic, let me know in the comments, right? I do have access and I would love to help you understand a concept or a troubleshooting feature using this access so that you can get better at ChatGPT. It'll probably make me better at ChatGPT and our entire community can grow from it. But other than that, share this video with someone who is diving into ChatGPT. Let me know in the comments how you're using it in your everyday real estate business. And I will talk to you very soon.